Somebody's grandmother was hanging off me, crying, saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought we were all dead," as told to me by my interpreter. So it's at that moment, even though I wasn't part of the bridge crew, I thought, yeah, we're here for a good reason.
This is Wes von Papineau, a former Canadian peacekeeper. Inside the walls of Royal Canadian Legion 133 in Port Coquitlam, Wes becomes Major Wes, the title he retired with. With his family's Air Force background, he never thought he would join the Army. Little did we know, he has been devoted to this military career for 42 years. A significant part of his service time was spent on the other side of the globe. His most cherished experience was in the Balkans during the 1990s. By the end of the Cold War, the surging nationalism and ethnic conflicts in the former Yugoslavia had erupted into a civil war with nearly 200,000 casualties. After 1992, thousands of Canadian troops were dispatched to Yugoslavia as peacekeepers, negotiators, and aid workers. That was the time when Wes was serving as intelligence officer at the front line with the Canadian peacekeepers.
1995, we went to Yugoslavia to keep apart the three factions, the Bosnians, the Serbs, and the Croats. They had decided that after a horrible civil war, they were going to give peace a chance. So Canada and a bunch of other nations decided, okay, we're going into a permissive environment. Somebody wants us there, so we're going to go in, patrol the demarcation lines, and try and make sure that the law of rule is brought back to the country. What we did was manned the patrol lines to report if one of the factions was moving military forces into an area they weren't supposed to be, or we would investigate reports of atrocities, war crimes, and abuse of citizens.
The peacekeeping missions weren't carried out without obstacles. In 1993, Canadian peacekeepers were deployed at disputed territories in Croatia with orders to implement the Medak Pocket ceasefire agreement between the Croatian army and Serbian irregular forces. Then UN Secretary-General Boutros-Ghali said the Canadian soldiers brought credit to their profession, saved lives, and enhanced the credibility of UN peacekeeping forces. Still, this compliment didn't earn Canadian peacekeepers complete trust from the civilians in Yugoslavia.
In some areas where the UN served, one of the factions thought that they were winning the war and they didn't want you there. Other places, they would see you as a source of money and of money only. Yes, we want you here, just don't talk to us, don't get involved with us. Other people would say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I got a chance to send my kids to the well to get water and not worry about them. So how the various peace-kept countries, or countries that were trying to maintain law and order in, reacts on the nationality of the peacekeeper and the unique situation on the ground for that particular village, notwithstanding what their national leaders may say.
The things he learned on those missions go well beyond military training. Wes has become increasingly critical about the information he received.
Various populations would tell us, oh, we used to own this land. Then you go back into the records and find out, no, you occupied it after kicking out the people ahead. But you can't tell them that at that time. You have to get your facts together. If you ever have the chance to read the Napoleonic history, Three Battles, it is the story of the Battle of Waterloo, written by a German, a Frenchman, and an Englishman. Each are convinced they're telling the truth, but there are three separate stories. You would not think that those three authors were writing about the same continent, let alone the same battle. So my experiences in reading and my military experience is there are many shades of gray, but there's only one black and one white. How we find that black and white is up to our academic and professional disciplines of trying to get to facts.
Now, Wes is enjoying his retirement. He still helps the federal government to train future intelligence officers. For him, this is not just passing on the torch, but rather an opportunity to catch up with the trend.
If people with experience don't mentor younger people, where are those younger people going to get the ability to do the right thing the first time? So if you came to me as a young soldier that needed guidance, I wouldn't so much teach you the technical portions of how to do your job, but I think I got some value of how to approach it in a mindset. What does it take to be a good, honorable intelligence officer. Mentoring is to allow people to have their own thoughts, because there's new ways of thinking that my generation doesn't have. On the other hand, don't rediscover the wheel. If I've learned something, take what I've learned so you don't have to learn it under periods of stress or under periods that are going to cost you personally.
British Columbia isn't a place with strong military presence as compared to the East Coast. Since moving from Ottawa, Wes has been hanging out in a Legion in Port Coquitlam to make new friends. Wes heads home after telling his stories. The Legion's dining hall, now empty, is filled with echoes of memories, wartime stories, and a ventilation noise that never seems to end.